This video has been funded in part by the Guild via Patreon. Check out the links in the description or at the end of this video for more details. Hello everybody, my name is Gildart, and this is not a drill. This is happening. This is actually happening. The impossible is happening, or at least what I thought was impossible. Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate now has a PC port. I mean, what's gonna happen next? Is 13 going to get another reboot? I wasn't being serious! After reviewing Warriors Orochi 3 during 2020's Musou, I had so many comments from people saying they would love to see this make its way to PC. I honestly never thought it would happen for two big reasons. First of all, because of how old the game was. Warriors Orochi 3 was released for PS3 and 360 back on December 22nd, 2011. We would later get a Japanese exclusive PSP release as well as a worldwide Wii U release in 2012. Ultimate would hit store shelves in the West in 2014, and the last port would be a Japanese exclusive on the Switch in 2017. This was also the same year as the release of the console. We also got other games from the Musou franchise ported over to the Switch, such as Samurai Warriors Spirit of Sanada, Samurai Warriors 4, Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2, as well as Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires, all of which remain a Japanese exclusive, and seemed like this was just Koei Tecmo dropping all of their most recent games on the popular new console. The second reason I wasn't expecting a PC release on Warriors Orochi 3 was the potential licensing issues. Though Koei owned the rights to the majority of the assets and IPs in Warriors Orochi 3, there was still the issue of Sophitia, who appears from the Soul Calibur series. It wasn't impossible for it to happen, considering Bandai Namco and Koei Tecmo seem to have a good relationship, especially considering their collaborations on things like Dynasty Warriors Gundam and One Piece Pirate Warriors. That being said, here we are. On July 12th, 2022, Koei Tecmo just suddenly thrust Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate Definitive Edition on us. Much like Dynasty Warriors 7 Extreme Legends Definitive Edition, we had some information like the copywriting of the name, but no console details nor a release date. Some people were expecting both a PC and Switch port. Others were expecting even a PS5 or Xbox Series release. The only one we got in the end was PC. Some of us are still a little bit salty at the lack of a Switch port, but we here in the West have to take our wins where we can. I'll also say a PS5 and Xbox Series release doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because you can play the PS4 and Xbox One versions on those consoles. Though I will say this new release comes with previous DLC, so a definitive edition would still be nice to see on PS4 and Xbox One, even if it's just sold as a bundle with the game and all the available DLC. But I've been talking way too much about the release itself. How is the game? Well, I won't be going too deep into the game's mechanics here. I already did a full pros versus cons video during 2020's Musou. If you're new to Warriors Orochi 3, I'd recommend checking that video out first so you know what you're getting into. This video is more on the differences with the PC port, the quality of the port itself, and whether or not it's worth it to buy, especially if you're like me and you already own it on every console known to man. Like, I own every North American port of the game. I don't have a physical copy on the Vita, but I do own that version. I also own practically all of the DLC on every console. If you didn't already put two and two together, I make great financial decisions. I know there are others in my situation wondering whether or not they should drop the $45 to $50 on this game given that they already own it and need to start their save file from scratch. Well, first things first, this PC port looks great. I know a lot of people were disappointed when they took a look at this game and it didn't have updated textures. Some people were saying it's just like the PC release of Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends. The only thing I have to say to that is that there were never updated textures for Warriors Orochi 3. When Ultimate was released on PS4 and Xbox One, it didn't get the same sort of treatment that Dynasty Warriors 8 did. I'm going to guess that most of the people saying this never played Warriors Orochi 3 on PS4 or Xbox One, and they haven't really looked into how it looks compared to PS3 and 360. The only upgrade that the 8th generation got was in frame rate and resolution. That happens yet again on the PC port, but it's not as drastic as the last upgrade. Since the PS3 and 360 were outputting 720p at a variable frame rate, PS4 and Xbox One were able to achieve 1080p with a more stable 60 frames, though it did dip here and there. The PC version is capable of 4K resolution with a solid 60 frames per second. Unfortunately, there's no way to get more frames other than that, but the 4K resolution helps it a little bit at least. I only have a 1080p TV and monitor, so I can't say how good the 4K resolution is, but at 1080 it still looks better than playing the PS4 version even if you are playing it on a PS5. As far as frame rate goes, I personally don't care as long as the frame rate is solid. This could have been just 30 frames and I'd still be happy as long as it didn't drop. The nice thing about this PC port is just how good of a port it is. Literally everything looks and runs perfectly. I have had the odd visual weirdness like shadows not loading properly or weird texture filters not happening, but it's very rare. Like, so rare I'm not even sure I captured it when I was recording. Besides performance though, is there anything different? Honestly, not really. The Tokiden, Halloween, and Christmas outfits are all here. I only have the Christmas ones on the PlayStation, but I think there used to be a way to get the others. I don't see them on the store anymore, so I don't know. There is some missing content from this port, but honestly, what's missing isn't super important. There's a handful of wallpapers missing, a couple of weapons, and some costumes. I will also say that there are some stages missing. This does include the one that gives you a ton of experience in Gauntlet mode, but I think that was a PlayStation exclusive anyways from what I heard. The costumes that are missing are mostly just collaboration ones like Dengeki or Famitsu. The one piece of missing content that does sting is the DLC outfit for Sophitia. I honestly don't know why that costume is missing. It doesn't make sense. Like, was it Bandai Namco's decision? I don't see why Koei Tecmo would choose to have one costume missing when it would have been a part of a package on the consoles anyways. There are some costumes I'm sad that didn't get added to this port, considering they could have absolutely put in the special outfits from Dynasty Warriors 7. Speaking of which, we are also missing the hilarious summer outfits. You know, the one where Pang De could beat Steven Seagal in a Steven Seagal lookalike contest. But there's also all the alternate Samurai Warriors 1 costumes. These were in Musou Orochi Z, and that's the best looking game they've been in. It's really unfortunate because someone like Yukimura or Nobunaga have great alternate outfits. I mean, we do see Kunoichi and Goemon's, but that's only because they didn't appear in Samurai Warriors 2. These costumes were even featured in the PSP version of Samurai Warriors 3 as DLC, but not here. And I know these complaints are geared more towards the base game, but there was an opportunity to give us extra, and they didn't. Outside of these, there aren't many costumes I would have expected to be in this game, but I sure would want to see the alternate Dynasty Warriors 4 outfits. The best these have looked is Dynasty Warriors 4 Hyper. I think it's about time these costumes got the HD treatment. But I honestly don't really think that costumes are the thing we should have been trying to push as an update in this definitive edition. First off, I think it would have been good to update all the Dynasty Warriors characters' weapons to be that of their 7 Empires iteration. It's great that Warriors Orochi 3 differentiates the cloned movesets by giving us some callback charge attacks, but I would have appreciated having an actual unique weapon more than a pseudo clone. But this is honestly another thing that's okay to leave out in my opinion. They were never in any version of Warriors Orochi 3. It does feel a little weird though to have Shu Shu in here without Huang Gai fighting off hordes of enemies with a boat. There are some good opportunities to add some quality of life improvements that literally would have made this the definitive way to play Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate. First of all, steering on a horse is painful. I'm pretty sure the Barbie Dream Camper has better handling than the horses in this game. I will call my horse and start running to where I need to be. If it's not the horse AI fucking off in the wrong direction, it's that the horse can't turn well enough to avoid a tree. It's gotten to the point where I just don't call my horse anymore. It's better to just leave it be and make my own way on my own 2 feet. Another thing that I just absolutely hate is losing in this game. I don't die at all, but my comrades tend to kick the bucket quite frequently. When you lose, there is no restart option. That would have been nice to see, but instead you get kicked back to the main menu. On top of that, it's hard enough to keep everyone leveled up in this game. In Warriors Orochi 1, 2, and Z, you earn enough extra experience and the roster is small enough to distribute said experience enough that you should be able to swap characters pretty frequently. I streamed this on my channel and just played as Shahodun, Keiji Maeda, and Achilles. I am too scared to swap any of these guys out in the later chapters because while these guys are level 50 to 60 plus, there is a handful of characters that are level 20 and the rest of them are level 2. I would have really liked to keep the experience that I earned at the end of the stage if it wasn't me that died. I don't mind losing the weapons, items, and gems. That's fine. I can grind towards those easy peasy, but I need my variety when I'm playing an Orochi game. I love going to the character select screen and just randomizing my whole team. I can't do that in this game until I get everybody leveled up enough. And with that gauntlet mode stage gone, I am in desperate need of experience here. And now that I have that out of my system, let's talk about what this video was supposed to achieve. Should you buy Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate Definitive Edition? If you've never played Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate before, it's absolutely worth it. Not only do you get all of the base game and Ultimate content, but you also get a boatload of DLC. For $45 to $50, that is a great deal. If you're a PC Warriors fan, this is a must buy. Warriors Orochi 3 is one of my favorite entries in the entire franchise, so I don't think I can sing its praises enough. But what if you're like me? What if you own Warriors Orochi 3 on literally every platform? What if you own almost all of the DLC on PS3, Vita, PS4, 360, Xbox One, and Wii U? Well, you should probably seek financial help, but should you go and buy a 15th copy of Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate on PC? Personally, I would, but are you going to take financial advice from me? I will say that the game does run and look marginally better on PC than it does on PS5, but it's only marginally. If you already own the game and all the DLC, you're not missing out on anything except a slightly better resolution and a slightly steadier frame rate. However, if you only have Ultimate on PS4 or Xbox One and you've never bought any of the DLC, it is worth it to now pick up Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate Definitive Edition on PC to experience all that added content. You know, with the exception of a couple things. I will say this will be my go-to option when gathering gameplay footage for videos. Just like the PC port of Dynasty Warriors 7, Koei Tecmo has done a great job with Warriors Orochi 3. I'm going to be spending a whole lot of time with this one to try to get it up to where I am with my PS4 save. So maybe some more streams will happen here and there. Either way, I am glad we finally have Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate on PC, and I'm hopeful that this means we're going to see more PC ports of older titles. Just give me Dynasty Warriors 4 Hyper with widescreen and camera controls already. God! Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like and subscribe for more. What are some other games that you'd like to see ported over to the PC? Let me know in the comments below, and if you'd like to help support the channel and what I do here, you can join the guild just like these awesome people that you're seeing on screen right now. You can join their names at the end of every single video for just $1 a month over on Patreon, or if you'd like to donate as a one-time fashion, you can do so and join the volunteer unit over on Coffee. There are other awards and other tiers as well, so check out the links that you see on screen, and I will see you all down in the comments.